This is Professor White. Today we'll talk about how we can add real numbers. Think of real numbers as numbers that do not have the imaginary part. In other words, that do not have I in them, the letter I. So any number that doesn't have an I in them is going to be a real number. So how do we add those guys? The thing is, you may have signs that's attached to them, just like integers, but integers are whole numbers. They do not have decimal parts and stuff. So how do I deal with real numbers? I'm going to just show you how you do it on a number line, but you have to kind of know what you're doing in there. So the first thing you do is you put your 0 in there. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 2.3, this is positive. There's always an invisible positive in there. 2.3 is around here. It's a little bit less than that. And then I add 3.5 to it. So think of that. This is 1, 2, 3.5 to it. Where is that going to go? It's going to go around here. So what did I do? So I just added them. So remember how you add decimals. You line up the decimal point. 5 plus 3 is 8. 3 plus 2 is 5. And you bring down the decimal. So that's how I add two positive real numbers. Okay. How do I add two negative real numbers? Start here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Just like you were doing before with integers, negative 2.5 is going to be around here. Now you're going to go another negative. That means to the left, another 3.5. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3.5. And it's right before 6 around here. You ended up here. So think about it like this. Since you're adding two negative numbers, you can add the decimals just like that. Go to the side. 5 plus 5, that's 10. 3 plus 2, that's 5. Plus 1 is 6. So I ended up at 6. So not in here, but right on the dot here at 6. So this is negative 6. So this two negatives, since I keep on going to the left, I end up 6.0. You can also write it as negative 6. And that's pretty much it. Or you can write it negative 6 point. I mean, all those are acceptable. Okay? Notation-wise, you know that negative 2.5 plus minus can also be written as negative. So pay attention to that. So that's how you add two negative reals. You can kind of think about them on the left and go left and left and left, and you'll see how that works. Okay, now how about a positive and a negative? You're at 0. There's an invisible positive here. Here's 1, 2. I end up with positive 2.5, so I'm here. And I'm going to go left, negative 3.5 steps. 1, 2, 3.5 steps. So where do I end up? Yeah, I actually end up at negative 1. The way to do that, when you have a positive and a negative, go and subtract. You get 1. And then know that the sign of this operation is going to be the sign of the bigger number. This is a bigger number. So it's going to have a negative. So the answer is negative 1. Notation-wise, you can take the plus out and write this as 2.5 minus 3.5. What you do is take the difference, which is 1. And since that negative is with the bigger number, it's negative 1. Okay. We already did the fractions. That's the previous video. Let's do another one. This one is going to the negative 2.5. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. Negative 2.5 is to the left. And then this one is positive 3.5. That means I'm going to go to the right, 3.5. 1, 2, 3, and then half. Guess what? I ended up in here. So a positive and a negative, like I said before, take the difference. The difference is 1. And then this one is bigger number, and it's next to the positive, so that's going to be a positive 1. So it's very similar to integers. You just have to make sure you understand how this works. Sign fractions, you can either go to decimals and do this like one way is 3/5 is 0.6 minus 4/5 is 0.8. And at 0.6, 0.8, these are opposite signs, right? There's a plus in there. Take the difference, which is 0.2. And then it is together with the 0.8, so it's negative. That's one way. The second way is you can do this. Write this down, 3 minus 4. And I know what 3 minus 4 is. That's negative 1. And negative 1/5 is negative 0.2. So you can do all these, guys, by hand. You don't need a calculator. But if you're doing it with the calculator, if you want to leave it as a fraction, use your ABC button. And then you can just use the subtract button here. And here you can just divide them. If you want to go to decimal route, 3 divided by 5, 4 divided by 5, and just subtract. All right. How do I do these, guys, when I have, let's say, a mixed number that's signed? Okay, well, the first thing you do is you change them into the like fraction part. So this is negative 2 and multiply top and bottom by 2. So you have 2 over 14. Okay. Just like before, what you need to do is you need to take the difference. So go to the side and take difference. So it is 2 and 2/14 and 1 and 1/14. What is the difference of these two? You're going to get 2 minus 1, that's 1. 2 minus 1, that's 1 as well. And remember how you do it. This one is together with the bigger number. So this number is going to have a negative. So the answer is negative 1 and 1/14. All right. This is actually the end of just reviewing how you can add real numbers. Just make sure that you just brush up on your fractions, you brush up on your decimals, and just tackle them, and your integers. All right. So we are going to go and we're going to learn how to subtract them in a minute.